Okay, welcome back everyone. Let's look at the scenario we started last time, but this time what we will do is we were going to run the simulation. We want to see how frames move from one end node to another and what exactly is inside that frame. And in particular, if let's say we use an ICMP message like we did with ping, how does the frame look like and what is involved with that frame? Okay, so this will be a good exercise to see the simulation part of Packet Tracer. Okay, so to get started, let's review quickly what we have here. We have a computer, PC, and let me just hover over it. And you could see that it has the address 192.168.10.2. Okay, so jot that down in your notes so you know that's that computer. And it has a MAC address of 0004 9A 4C DA 0C. Okay, good. We're going to do the same thing with the server here, so at least we know where we're starting with. We have an IP address of 192.168.10.1 and a MAC address of 30 A3217C6C. Fantastic. Now let's put it in action. So before, what we have done, if I go to this computer, for example, and I go to the desktop and I go to the command prompt and I hit a ping 192.168.10.1. So I'm trying to ping the other computer or the server. Let's see what happens. Okay. And as you can see, we're going to get a reply. Everything looks good. Okay. Now we can do this visually as well, right? So as you can see here, we have 0 losses. Now we could do this visually in this manner. Do you see where you have an envelope right here? So I'm going to take an envelope, put it here, and then here. Now, what that means is I am taking a frame that will have the source as our computer that is in .2 going to .1. Remember those IP addresses and the host octet, right? And that's what I physically did. So notice now we have a new line here. Remember, we're still in real time. That shows that the ICMP was successful. This is equivalent to you having typed ping 192.168.10.1. Okay, so now we did it visually. Now, if I do it again, let me just go from here to here. You could see that I have a second line here under this window here that shows that everything was successful. And notice the source was PC7, the destination was server 2. Let's do it the other way around so you get an idea. So let me go from here to here. And notice now the source is the server and the destination was PC7. And it was basically a simple ICMP message that requires a reply. Now we don't see that reply here. There's not enough resolution in this simulation, but it's, so we want to see that. So that we're going to do in this. So notice here, I hit delete. So I removed all of these scenarios and I'm going to now go to simulation right here. Okay. So I clicked here and now we can step through the messages as they go from one place to another. And then if there is a reply, we get to see that as well until it's completed successfully. Okay, so remember, this is a message that requires an echo back. Once you receive the echo, it's done. If everything is fine, then it completed successfully. All right, well, let's get started. So you do the same thing. So click on this envelope, click here, and then click here. Notice that the envelope remained right here because we're going to be stepping through this. So we're going to do this one step at a time. So notice we haven't completed anything. It's in progress right here below, okay? From PC7 to server 2. It still is, it's an ICMP message. Okay, so can we look at the details? associated with this message, with what's in the envelope. Let's click there. And notice it's an outgoing message right here. And the beauty about this is this view is the OSI model view. What layers of the OSI model are being involved with this ICMP message at this stage? Okay, so remember, we're sending, but we are in simulation mode, so we're like frozen in time, where that frame, it's still held by PC7. Okay, so it hasn't been received by the server. However, something is going on right here. So it's telling me at layer 3, the source and destination IP addresses are written up in here. So as you can see, I have a 192.168.10.2, and that is for the source, and the destination is the .1. And it is an ICMP message. And I also have, at layer 2, the MAC address of the source and the MAC address of the destination. At layer 1, which is the physical layer, you have which port it's coming out of from. Now, this here, again, is the OSI model view. Can we look at inside the frame or the PDU, or what we call the protocol data unit, right? So let's look in there. And sure enough, notice it's broken down into Ethernet, which is layer 2, IP, which is layer 3, and then the actual message at the bottom, which is the ICMP. So let's look at the top here. Notice here at layer 2, as far as Ethernet protocol is concerned, for this frame, we are concerned with the MAC addresses. So this is the destination, and this one right here is the source. Okay? If you had to map it to a logical address, that would be through the IP. So this would be the source address, and this would be the destination. Okay? And it's also saying, all right, so what kind of application or what is it we're running? It's an ICMP message, right? And so, good. Now, let's get that frame to move. So we're going to go over here. So we're not going to click in the middle here. If you click in the middle, it's going to run the whole simulation at once. We're going to click on this one right here so we can do it one step at a time. And notice the envelope reaches now the server, right? We haven't had a reply yet. Remember, this is a step-by-step simulation by clicking on this button. And notice it's not completed. It's still in progress, okay? So if we click on this envelope now, what do we see? We have an incoming message and the potential outgoing message from the server to the destination. This would be the reply. Now, it hasn't reached the source yet that sent that ICMP message. Remember, your envelope or your frame is still within server 2, right? So, and again, this is at the OSI level. What layers are involved? Layer 3, 2, and 1. And if you look at the BPDUs or PDUs associated with the inbound or the outbound are pretty much similar except for the source and destination. Okay, so for the outbound and the inbound, so the inbound, notice the type for the ICMP, that was the message being sent there. Outbound will be the echo back, so the type will be slightly different, right? Fantastic. So now let's step it one more. And notice now it's been received, and notice a nice little check mark. And at the bottom here, it says successful. That's the end of it. Okay? So, and again, that would be the message being sent. Let me do it from here, actually. Here's the message, right? And it got received by the issuer of the ICMP message. That will be the echo. And here's the information at this level. Okay? And that was the type received. Okay? All right, so now what happens if I click on step again? Well, nothing. It's done. It's over. Okay, I hope you learned a lot, and I'll see you for the next lesson.